Sony is taking E3 by the horns and hurling a total of 364 games across their three platforms. Quantity seems to be the name of the game here. Bringing the myriad of games made possible only through PlayStation hardware, Jack Tretton assures us that 2009 will be bigger and better than ever. He pretty much has to, due to the lackluster year of 2008. Despite that, the future does look bright for PlayStation. Among the throng of games that PlayStation offered to us, the exclusive titles like MAG, God of War 3, Gran Turismo 5, and Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time are just a few of the many games that PlayStation really has to offer us. Yeah, we got to hear about the philosophy of PlayStation and how awesome they are and how much money they make and how much we get to be reminded over and over again about how much money we actually spend on video games. It wasn't as bad as, like, I don't know, say, Nintendo. But that's beside the point. We're talking about PlayStation here, right? In addition to even more game announcements, PlayStation had a few more things up their sleeve that they wanted to tell us about. And no, I'm not talking about another Facebook integration. Thank you for not cursing us with that. I mean, seriously, Facebook? Why does everybody have to be on Facebook now? It's not that big of a deal. Rumors of a new PSP has finally been confirmed as a go, as in PSP Go. It's coming out October 1st, 2009, and will be retailing at $249. Looks pretty sweet, and actually Gran Turismo runs at 60 frames a second on that sucker. Man, that is some pretty beefy hardware for such a tiny, tiny little thing. Sony seems to have a response for Project Natal. The creator of the iToy took the stage and showed off the new motion controllers that look like two big freaky glow sticks. It's been in the works for several years, but by raise of hand, who owns an iToy? Yeah, that's what I thought. I honestly can't tell if this is Sony's way of trying to recoup the investment from the iToy, or if they really are trying to go after that casual gamer crowd. I mean, I can understand that Nintendo, because that's been a huge kind of family platform for a long time, and they've moved in that direction, so I can forgive that. And even Xbox, they're all over the place. But I mean, Sony has always been the gamers console. I mean, there's always been that kind of hardcore following with that. And despite the fact that they're impressive amount of games that they're coming out with, it still seems kind of like they're trying to go towards that. And they don't need to. In that same vein, Mod Nation Racers was announced. It's a PS3 exclusive, thoroughly modern take on kart racing genre. No, it's just a make-your-own-games game. Again, I don't want to make my own games. If I wanted to do that, I'd go be a game developer. I just want to play the games. Games like Spore and Little Big Planet really changed this whole perspective, and it's being hyped up more than it really should be. It's just a different way that developers, or wannabe developers, can toy around with things that normally wouldn't be able to in the first place. Okay, I can see that kind of draw and enticement, but it's really not a game. Speaking of things that shouldn't see the light of day, Square Enix announced another Final Fantasy game, but this one's going to be exclusive to PlayStation, or not. In addition, it's going to be an MMO! Yay! Wait, didn't they already do that with Final Fantasy XI? Now, okay, for those of you who didn't play Final Fantasy XI, let me explain the experience to you. Request a wake-up call and instruct them to wake you up every time you look like you're about to doze off. Have them repeat this process over and over again for upwards to 16 to 24 hours until you are fully satisfied with your gaming experience. At that point, take the game out of your PlayStation, stick it in the microwave, and turn it on for the next 30 minutes. Then you will never have to experience it ever again. Now, don't get me wrong here. I love Final Fantasy games, but not as horrible MMOs. I mean, what is Sony trying to do here? If they wanted to experience pain and loss, all they need to do is slam their hand in a door, and then they go, oh, wait, this is just like playing Final Fantasy XI. Let's not do that. Hideo Kojima is a very, very busy guy. Not only was he at the Microsoft press conference, but he was also at the Sony press conference, and he was announcing Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. And this is actually the true sequel to the Metal Gear Solid series. He is very vested into this. He's writing it, and he says it's actually going to be due in 2010. So, Metal Gear Solid fans, keep your eyes open. Fans of the horror survival genre? Yo, that's me. Got to see a look at Resident Evil. It's supposed to be designed from the ground up for the portable and is due next year. Might be something I'd actually go out and buy a PSP Go for. Ubisoft took the stage and showed us Assassin's Creed 2. Oh, what's cooler than one sneaky poison blade? Two. Also announced was Assassin's Creed Bloodlines coming to PSP November 10th, 1 week before Assassin's Creed 2. And apparently there's some sort of crossover. If you play the PSP version and then you sync it up with your PlayStation, you get some like 6 new weapons in the PS3 version of Assassin's Creed 2. Looks pretty cool, but really, I mean, who has that kind of money? We all got a chance to see the uber-violent, mythological, awesome God of War 3 showing Kratos take on a Chimera, Lava Titan, and some really nasty half-naked harpies. Like, ugh. I really didn't need to see that. Fans of first-person shooter games, listen up. MAG stands for Massive Action Game, a 256 multiplayer combat game. 8 of the developers took the stage, and we got to watch them play against 248 other real people across the US. Now that is massive. After showing off the playable demo on stage, Naughty Dog announced the beta version of the multiplayer of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. So go check it out. It looks like it's a lot of fun. So that was the highlights of the Sony press conference. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking about the best and the worst of E3. Thank you very much for watching the video. Be sure and comment, subscribe, and rate 5 stars. Check out the website, GamerTitans.com, and if you like our videos, be sure and sign up for the newsletter. You won't be disappointed.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend!